red and white robe on the Nature Boy, who should not be coming out first, is what I've got here in my notes.
Oh dear.
Even worse, Savage comes out to a jog in an albeit impressive gold and black number.
Right, so also, quick question. So we've talked previously about Savage going away and coming back, and I noticed that he wrestles, obviously I noticed, but he wrestles in his top.
Yep.
Is this because he wasn't as yoked, as you would call it, as before?
Yes, but this was a him decision.
Okay.
I believe.
I mean, it's you know what, it works, and I actually really like the gear, but it was something I noted, and I was like, oh, we talked about this before, I wonder.
Yeah, so it was his choice. He wasn't, because he had to come off the
Yeah.
steroids to try and, because it kind of effectively makes you sterile to try and have a kid with Liz. They gave up on that venture. He came back to wrestling later in 91. But before we really dive into this match, there's some background to cover, Holly.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the WWF title match that people were anticipating going into WrestleMania. What people were expecting was for Ric Flair to defend the WWF title against Hulk Hogan, the poster boy of the NWA against the flag bearer for the WWF. It made so much sense. There are a number of various theories out there that have been suggested over the years, and I've got some of them here for you, and I'll tell you which one I think is the correct one. Number 1. Ric Flair didn't work as the typical opponent of what Hogan would normally face at WrestleMania. I disagree with this, as Savage worked great, and he wasn't a monster heel with Hogan, so I don't give that much credence personally.
Okay.
2. It was suggested Hogan should lose to Flair in the title match, which Hulk was having none of, brother. I think the genesis of this story stemmed from the idea that it was believed it could be Hulk's last match. I still don't think that's the correct one. 3. Vince wanted to save Hogan and Flair for WrestleMania 9, which I don't see the logic in myself, seeing as they could easily have put it together for 8 based on the build-up to the show. Number 4. Hogan was unwilling to work a Ric Flair style match, and Ric Flair was unwilling to work a Hulk Hogan style match. Flair did not want to adapt to the Hogan approach to a match. Whilst I could see that happening to a point, I don't believe this was the case.
Okay.
Number 5, which I believe to be the most likely of the theories. Hogan and Flair headlined a few house shows in late 91 going into 92, and the shows weren't sellouts. With Vince being of the mindset he is, he fell back into his usual trend of have the big guys work together, and that is why Hogan works Sid later on the card, and Flair deviates his path to a match with Savage. I really think they should have gone with Hogan and Flair though. Even if the resulting match wasn't great, it just made so much sense and would have felt epic. They just dropped the ball as far as I'm concerned here.
Okay.
But if you think about it, like I said, the match in theory wouldn't have been as good in ring wise, but it would have had a big feel to it.
True.
But how do you feel? I feel like you're happy with the way they went.
I am actually. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Because I know Hogan is Hogan. I get that, but there's more for me. There's more actual wrestling in a match between these two than there would be if it was. Yeah,
agreed.
If it was Hogan and Flair.
Sometimes I feel like that is a necessary evil to get that done, because there's nothing on paper stopping them looking at doing something with Flair and Savage down the line. Yeah, but. I mean, to be fair, like I said, your opinions are your opinions. You can do whatever you like with them. That's fine. And I agree with you. The match in ring would have been light years. I was about to say, light years better. Which is anyway. Flair climbs to the top rope, and in a classic Flair spot again, Savage cuts him off and press slams him to the canvas. Yeah. The champ is begging off, scooting back away from Macho Man. Do you notice as well, Holly, that when Ric Flair lands on the canvas, he kind of goes down at an angle, so he kind of hits shoulder first before his back? Oh. Do you know why he does that?
No.
Because it's premeditated. He's intending to do that, because most people just take the flat back bump. Ric Flair was in a plane crash in 1975 and has basically destroyed his back. From then, he had to rehabilitate it to get to the point where he could even wrestle again. But he's very aware that if he takes direct bumps on his back, it could re-aggravate an injury for him. So that's why he's got that peculiar way of taking bumps when he goes into the air. Sees Savage clothesline Flair over the top to the floor. Up top he goes, and a double axe handle drives Flair face first into the guardrail. We see the champ is now bleeding. Story time, Holly.
Oh, okay.
This was the time when WWF had a no blood policy, and 2 matches on this card broke that rule. The first was Bret Hart in his match against Piper. Both played it off like it was done hard way, even though this was not the case, and stage a little pull-apart brawl when they got behind the curtain to add to the believability. Both men were asked and said they had not done it intentionally. Now, Flair got colour in his WWF title match. However, he did get in trouble for it, as it was a visible blade job, and he was dished out with a fine by the promotion. Hefty fine too as well. Flair goes mad with right hands and begins choking Savage from the mounted position. Perfect has picked up a steel chair and cracked Savage in the knee as the ref is dealing with Flair, and now we see Liz storming out to ringside being told to head back by Earl's brother Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Who is this I see as well, trying to tell Liz to go back? Yes, that's right. An infantile-looking Shane O'Mac.
Oh my God, it is. How do I not see this? You remind me, like...
I thought you would have spotted that one.
I didn't even... I just got annoyed that there was too many people.
Another big shin breaker, and Flair loads up a big right hand whilst holding the leg. No, Savage blocks it and gets a schoolboy roll-up, exposing Flair's arse for the 1, the 2, the 3.
Mm-hmm.
New champion, but no music plays.
No.
Heenan is beside himself and says, I have to go to Flair. I've got to go to Flair. In the ring, Liz has jumped in to congratulate Savage, who is hurt in the corner. Flair takes the opportunity to force a kiss upon Liz, who unloads with slaps that were marginally better than Andre's to Heenan at WrestleMania 7, and shoves him as well. Savage goes nuts and jumps on Flair with rights and has to be pulled off him. This is madness. Now Flair is attacking Savage as the agents basically assist in holding him in place, and Perfect stamps on his nads.
Yep.
Flair attacks once more, and we see a lot of Flair's blood on the jacket of one particular agent.
Yes.
Still, Savage is being restrained as he is thrashing around. It all calms down a bit, and we finally get the announcement that Savage is once again the WWF champion. Liz holds the title as Savage is still selling like a champion, and he does eventually raise the title. Pyro goes off on the far side of the ring, which makes Liz jump.
Petrifying, by the way.
Oh yeah, makes her jump and laugh, and the lamest fireworks go off from the structure above the ring in the daylight.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for the support you guys have shown us so far. It means the world to us. Holly, what do we want to remind the people?
Don't forget to like, subscribe and ding the bell for notifications.